Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be building a one-story modern home. This house cost $145K and only uses one Game Pass, Advanced Placement. If you guys are excited for this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you get notified when I post. Enjoy the rest of the video! Now that the tour is over, I am starting to build the house. This house is 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. It also comes with a backyard with swings, an outdoor kitchen, a place to sit and eat, a trampoline, beautiful landscaping, a hot tub, and some lounge chairs around the hot tub. As you can see, I started by doing the walls first. I was almost done with the walls and then I realized I messed up, so I went back and fixed that mistake. I put the archways into the entryway in, and I am putting the front porch in. And now I'm starting on the floors. You might notice that I put them down 3 times over, and that's because when you do that, it makes the floors look a lot more detailed. I didn't create this hack, but I think it's a great hack to use. At first when I put down the floor, it was going vertical, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. I'd rather have it go horizontal, so I redid the floor. For this build, I decided to go with a dark brown color scheme, unlike my other builds where I go for a light brown color scheme. Now that I'm finished with the floor, I added an archway into the dining room, and I'm now adding the front door onto the house. After I added the front door onto the house, I added the rest of the doors onto the house. I put closets all along the back wall of the parents' bedroom, so I'm adding the doors to that. I don't know why, but before I even added in like windows or something, I added in the dining room table. But now I'm adding in windows. First I added 2 big windows into the dining room. After that, I added some floor-to-ceiling windows right by the entrance to the backyard. And then I colored the windows black. Since one of the bathrooms was at the front of the house, I had to add a window to make it look good, but now you can see into the bathroom, so I put some landscaping there to block the bathroom window or give the bathroom more privacy. I should have just put blinds on the bathroom window, but I didn't do that, so I colored the front door, which led to me coloring the rest of the doors in the house. And now I'm putting in some built-in cabinets. I basically made the kitchen and living room like one because I used the kitchen cabinets and like brought them into the living room. I'm now adding all of the counters into the kitchen. And now I'm adding the island in the middle. After I was done putting the counters in the kitchen, I added in the appliances. And now I'm adding in the sink. Above the sink, I added in a window because when you're washing dishes or like washing your hands, you're probably going to want to be looking at something other than just a wall. And now I'm adding in the upper cabinets. I added in 3 stools at the island. And now I'm working on the living room. First, I started by adding in a couch. I chose the only L-shaped couch in the entire game. Then I added in the TV. I didn't actually do that much to the living room. I moved over to this little sitting area and I put down a chair and table. And then I colored the table and chair. It took me a little while to decide on the color I wanted for the chair. And now I'm adding end tables on either side of the couch, a coffee table, and a console table behind the couch because that hallway is a little bit big, so I feel like adding the console table takes up a little more space. And now I'm coloring the couch to match the chair. After coloring the couch, I moved on to coloring the kitchen counters. I know I wanted to color the top marble and make the hardware black, but it took me a little bit to decide on what I wanted to color, like the actual like cabinet part, and I decided on ghost gray. And then for the island, I did an accent color, which was black. After coloring the counters, I moved on to coloring the stools at the island, and now I am coloring the appliances. Normally it doesn't take me that long to color the appliances, but this time it took me extra long and I couldn't decide on what I wanted, and it just ended up kind of looking like the original. And now I'm starting on the dining room. I started by coloring the table that I already placed down to match all of the other wood in the house. And then I added some chairs to match the stools at the island and colored them the same. Now I'm back to working on the living room. I'm adding in a rug underneath the coffee table and couch, and then I colored it. And then I decided I also wanted a rug underneath that chair and table area, and I colored it the same as the living room rug. And now I'm coloring the counters and cabinets in the living room. Instead of just going for the ghost gray cabinets all along, I decided to make those counters black there. And then I decided with the black hardware on the black cabinets, it looked too much black. So I changed the hardware on the black counters, both on the island and the living room, to gold hardware instead. And now I'm starting on the parents' bathroom. I added in a toilet, and then I added counters all along one of the walls for like the vanity and sink area. And then I also added in the shower door. And then I colored the floor in the shower. I just went for some tile. I really wish Bloxburg added like tile that was marble, because that's kind of what I was looking for, but since we don't have that, I just went for a tile. And then after I added the shower into the parents' bathroom, I wanted to add it into like the kids' bathroom too. So I added the shower, and I wanted to do a shower tub combo. So then I added the tub in too, but I can't put a wall across with like the door because the window is in the way. And then I added a sink into that bathroom and a crucial part of a bathroom, some toilet paper. Then I also added the toilet paper into the parents' bathroom. Next, I started working on like the sink area, starting by adding some sinks in, and then adding a mirror, coloring the frame black, and resizing it to fit the space. After adding in the mirror, I knew I wanted to add in some sort of like light over these sinks, and so then I spent a little time looking for the best light. Then after that, I started placing it, and it took me a while to find the placing I wanted to do. At first, I tried just putting it like all across the entire thing, but then that looked terrible, so I ended up just one above each sink. I was trying to make sure the light was perfectly centered with each sink. And then I was trying to get it as close to the mirror as possible without it not being able to place or jumping back up. And then I realized I did not have a roof on the house, so I went ahead and put a roof on. First, I was trying the slanted roof, but then I realized that's not gonna work because the house has like a diagonal part, and the slanted roof doesn't work for that, so I just ended up going with a flat roof. And then I headed back to the parents' bathroom to continue building it. When I put the roof on, I went back into the parents' bathroom and realized that there was no light, so I put in a light. I actually put in 2 lights. And then I realized there were no windows in the bathroom, so I went and got the biggest window ever and put it in the bathroom. And then I realized that there were no lights in any other part of the house but that bathroom, so I started putting in some lights. I was choosing between 2 options in the kitchen, and I went for the second option. And then when I was coloring it, I had a hard time coloring it, and it kind of looked like the original one when I was done, but I couldn't find a different color that I liked better. I don't know, I think I still like what it looks like. Well, I definitely still like what it looks like, but I'm just so used to all the original colors that anything comes in looking bad, so I wanted to change it. And then I worked more on the kitchen. I added in the backsplash, which is subway tiles in mid-gray. And then I moved on to adding a light in the entryway and the dining room. After adding a chandelier in the dining room and in the entryway, I moved on to adding more lights, starting with adding some lights into the living room, 2 above the counters, and 1 above the couch, and then I added some down the hallway in the living room, kitchen, main area. After I added in the lights, I wanted to see how it looked, and I thought it looked way too bright so then I like redid the lights so it was less bright. But personally now I think that it looked better before I changed the lights. I decided that I wanted to add another dining table in between the kitchen and living room because there's a little bit of space there. But once I did that, I thought that it looked too crammed, so then I moved it over to like the hallway area more. For this dining room table, instead of just getting a regular dining room table, I put together 2 console tables, well, more than 2 console tables, 4 console tables to make a longer and skinnier table. After finally figuring out where I wanted the table to go and moving it there, I started adding in chairs, and this dining table actually has more chairs. Actually, it has the same amount of chairs, I'm pretty sure, as the other dining table, but you could put chairs on the end too to make it an even bigger dining table than the other dining table. After putting down the chairs, I repositioned them to make them look better. I'm glad I added that table there because otherwise I feel like that big space went to waste. And now I'm starting to work on the entryway. I really like how this entryway turned out. It's probably my favorite entryway I've ever done. And I really like it because I made this like built-in shelf thing with like the shelf that came with the baby update, and then also a bench, and then just some bookshelves and some cabinets up top too. You're probably wondering why I put down like 30 shelves right on top of each other, but that was to make sure the spacing was perfect in between each of the shelves. When I was looking to add cabinets above the already existing structure, I was looking at like different cabinets to see which ones might work, but I ended up just using the cabinets that are already in this house. And when I put them down, they stuck out super far, and I felt they were taking up way too much space and coming out much further than all the rest of the stuff, so I scooted them back into the wall a little bit. I'm glad I went with these cabinets because it ties the entryway into like the rest of the house, and also there would have been way too much wood if I went for like a different cabinet that was made out of wood. I was seeing if the shorter shelf would fit better, but in the end it definitely did not fit better than the taller shelf, so I went back to the taller shelf. I realized the entryway was a little bit dark, but since I already put a light in, what I did is I just hid another light inside of that light. I was trying to put these baskets in a cool pattern, and I was trying to do like diagonal, but that looked absolutely terrible because it wasn't like a square, it was a rectangle, so the diagonal looked weird, and so I ended up just going every other row having the baskets. I'm putting in small boxes to make shoes, and so now I am putting different patterns and colors on them to make them look more like shoes. Now that I'm done with the shoes, I'm moving on to decorating the shelves. First, I started with putting down some books. Next, I put down a painting, and then I was looking for more like entryway things to put on the other shelf, and I found some umbrellas to put there. I struggled a lot with placing those umbrellas, and then I colored them. I added a plant on one of the shelves, and then I added some perfume bottles on one of the other shelves as like some hand sanitizer or lotion or sunscreen. And then I added another plant, and I put this plant on the end shelf, but then I moved it in between the other two things because I thought it looked better in between. And then I added even more plants on the other shelves. And now I'm looking for other things to add, and I decided upon adding a few jars. First, I resized some of the jars and now I'm coloring them, and then I'm gonna move them around to look nice. And now I'm coloring the other thing on that shelf, which is a plant. And then I added a deer onto that shelf. And then on the lowest shelf, I added some books, resized them to make them smaller, and added a painting. And now I'm coloring the books on the top shelf. I felt that the area behind the bench looked a little empty, so I decided to add a painting on that wall. Next, I realized that I had nothing in the entryway besides that one built-in shelf thing, so next to the door, I put a coat rack. I tried putting some baskets underneath the shelf, but that looked weird. I added a welcome mat on the porch, and I'm putting a pathway down to the sidewalk and then a fence surrounding it to make it look better. And then I colored that brick because I feel like when you add something around it, it makes it look like a cleaner edge, and it also adds some detail. And now I'm starting on the landscaping. First starting by putting down some grass and making it look like it was freshly mowed. Now I'm starting by putting some landscaping in front of the bathroom window. I am now coloring the roof. And now I'm adding in some wall trims. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications to get notified when I post. Bye!